Now, Olivia Jade sat down for a red table talk about her role in the college admissions scandal that put her parents behind bars. But Jada Pinkett Smith's mom wasn't really all that happy about it. Take a look.
I feel like here we are, a white woman coming to black women for support when we don't get the same from them. It's just, it's bothersome to me on so many levels. Her being here is the epitome of white privilege to me.
I never got to say, I'm really sorry that this happened, or I really own that this was a big mess up on everybody's part. Honestly, when it first happened, I didn't look at it and say, oh my God, like, how dare we do this?
Right.
That's embarrassing within itself, that I walked around my whole 20 years of life not realizing, like, you have insane privilege. You're like the poster child of white privilege.
Right.
So, is she owning up to this, Sonny?
Look, I think that she didn't go far enough, but I do put most of this blame on her parents. They should have taught her better. I mean, as the mother of student athletes, this story has always been very difficult for me to understand, because while my children have certainly grown up with a certain amount of wealth, as I did not, we made sure to teach them that cheating is never appropriate, that they have to earn everything that they get. And when you look at the college admissions letter that Olivia Jade got, it is very clear that she was admitted as a student athlete, as a rower. And she also submitted fake photographs of herself on a rowing machine. So the suggestion somehow that she didn't know any better is very difficult for me to comprehend, because as you all know, Gabriel is a three-sport athlete: football, swimming, and track. I have had, as a mother, to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drop him off for swimming practice, and then after that, take him to school, come to the View. I mean, I've seen Paloma in ice baths, nursing injuries. And for many black children, being an athlete is one of the only entrances to college. And for Olivia Jade not to, and to try to take one of those legitimate spots of another athlete, I just think is deplorable. And she didn't address that during this interview. She said, I messed up, it was wrong, but she didn't address that.
No, she didn't. Sarah, what was your impression of this, of her explanation?
It was a step she had to take, but she's got about 99 more before she's earning a respect back. And I think that her actions will speak louder than her words. So let's, I'll give her a minute to figure that out. But I don't buy the I grew up in a bubble excuse. She's 20 years old. I expect more from my 4-year-old. And what I mean by that, I'm not making light of it, is every program we show our kids, every book we read, how did she sidestep every virtue we teach young people, every message about Sesame Street? Like, she had to have seen something that showed her some of these things. She had to bump into a teacher along the way, or a family member that showed her some of this. So I don't blame it all on my parents, but as a parent, I actually do blame them more. And what bothers me is it's such a privilege to be a parent. I have so many friends that had to fight for their right with great monetary expense to be able to have children of their own. And then bring in fertility issues, people that fight so hard just to have a child. And I think it is the most awesome responsibility I've ever had. And every day, at the end of the day, there are conversations and disagreements about whether we're doing right by our children, what's our intention, what's our end game, and what were they doing with this privilege they had to not teach a child right and wrong, to not teach them that when you were born with a lot, you owe a lot to everyone around you that wasn't that lucky. The understanding, what it's like to earn something versus being given something. These were the lessons my parents taught me, and I bear this burden as I walk every day feeling I fail. And I just wish I could ask their parents, what was the end game here? Because you sent your children out. It's not good for them either. It's not only not good for the world. How did you expect this to be the right thing for your kids? It's heartbreaking.
Well, clearly, they hadn't expected any of this, and you're asking people who have ended up in jail for cheating why they didn't teach their kids better.